Namaste. Don't say y'all must be the chosen group or something. I'm really vibing with this new group that I'm working with. We were able to secure the game, secure the win, and it's going to actually bring me to an interesting topic because I say you guys are the chosen group because it actually fell from a 1-0 binary code. So this is going to kind of take us into the topic of what happens when 1-0 drops. And, you know, like you may be using views that you can't really necessarily verify because it's views plural. See, when you deal with a 1-0, you're dealing with singular views. So you're dealing with one, essentially. So you have to have one of something. So having, for instance, one view, of course, wouldn't qualify, or even having 100 views, just depending on the scenario, how new the video is and things of that nature. That may not even qualify. However, when a 1-0 drops in a scenario like that, you have time to actually go ahead and pay on it through what's called monetization. And I'm going to get more into what that is and how to do that in the future because there's levels to monetization. Monetization is the multi-level aspect of the internet. It's truly multi-level because it's different. It's hard to judge on how much a person is actually profiting from monetization. Now with views, think about views is when a 1-0 drops, it doesn't qualify with views unless you have a certain amount of monetization backing the views. And they're real strict in soccer because I was speaking with some of the officials just now when the runs dropped, and they were saying that they only really acknowledge what's called monetization. They don't really acknowledge like money. Like for instance, if you try to just say, well, I got $10,000 backing these ones and I want to keep trading as credit. Now when the 1-0 drops, essentially the table is wiped clean, is what they call it. So whatever is down on the table has been Visa at that time, unless, you know, you got something that's worth over the amount that this particular one may be worth. And I'm not going to go into any personal details on what this one is worth and appraisals because this is something I do in private consultations. I give you as much information as I can publicly, and I appreciate the donations to 13 Sounds Astrology at gmail.com, by the way. I have to keep promoting that because that keeps us, even when it's just small amounts, like I said, like $1, $2, $3, whatever, that keeps us visible as a group, and they take us serious because that 1-0, it's a lot of credit right now in the world based on that 1-0 dropping. So those people that know about banking will understand this, that these are what's called units. See, this is what you have to understand. I'm going to go more into this units and views thing on my next episode because I can't do it in this area because I have to channel it somewhere else where it's proper to do this at. But in this area, I'm going to talk about units. And it's one thing to have views, but it's another thing to have units. And in sports, when those numbers come across, those are units represented by UCCs and stuff like that. So when you look at the term account, you see the U in it because this represents units, meaning that units qualifies as currency, as bank, as currency units. So essentially what I'm saying is that you could use a set of units to, over time, if you start to Visa this thing and monetize with the units, you can use these units to judge how much or how less access you may have to credit through these ones or through these units, essentially is what they are. So for instance, with this 1-0 binary code dropping, that means somebody lost a lot of credit and somebody gained a lot of credit. One, from what I've studied, is the highest number in sports, believe it or not. We have a 1-0. That's like the maximum amount you can win off of one game in any sport. And then of course you have twos, threes, and double digits and stuff, but that goes into a different formula and a different science. So when you talk about 1 to 0, there's different investors. I had people from England that invest with me and things of that nature. So that's probably what tipped the scale. See, I don't have a lot of followers, but I have followers, like I said, that are lucrative people. They're worth a lot and they have lucrative ideas. So that was able to help us to help the scale tip, but I still gained a lot of profit, believe that, a lot of credit through that. I can tell you that it cost me $1,000 just to put up for the one. It's 1,000 in credit per clock. But so far, I've already tripled that in monetization. Not in money yet. Because like I said, you can only call this credit. So in monetization, so when you talk about monetizing, you got to calculate the fact that you have a device that you got to take care of, and they may want percentages, meaning like if you have an LG phone or whatever you're using to monetize with, they're going to put notes on your phone. They're going to begin to tax you once you get to a certain level. So I think I need to go ahead and talk more about views and monetization. I just want to kind of let you guys know that everything's all right. I'm all right. It was a 1 to 0 code, so from my count, that's the 87th one that dropped. But the cycle started over, so truly, indeed, it's really a different count because the cycle started over in August. But altogether, since I've been counting since last July, late August going into July, that's the 87th one that's dropped. So exciting time, a lot of credit out there. And I'm gonna show you from here, from A to Z now. Okay, so what do I do next now? Okay, so I won 1 to 0. Now I have to prove. So it may take me a while to get back up to the next video because I have to take time to make money and prove and monetize on that, and prove my note, and prove that I have enough credit to pay for this one that dropped, because it's very expensive when you talk about that. Like I said, it's 1,000 a clock while the games are going on, but tonight it's going to go up way past that. Like once everything shuts down, it's going to go up higher than that. So I'm going to keep you abreast and posted on everything that's going on. I appreciate you guys for watching and listening. I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving. Got a lot to do. Thank you for the support, all the donations, all the beautiful ladies out there been sending your positive kudos. Thank you for the in-person donations. People that's been finding me in person, they know how to do that. Thank you for being in tune and knowing how I move. So I love people like that and knowing how we can communicate without speaking, man. It's amazing and beautiful. So I'll be coming up with more. Namaste.